Arch Manning is in the news today too. Texas seems to be at the epicenter of everybody's thought process. And it feels like Arch is not going to leave Texas behind. Think about this. Archie Manning is out speaking for Arch. And I want to clarify here that Archie is coming out saying, I haven't talked to Arch, but the belief is that Arch will want to stay at Texas. And that's just his grandpa saying, I haven't talked to him, but I know him. And this is what he's going to do. He's going to stay at Texas. I think this is only significant, Caroline, because to me, this is what always made the most sense. Like Arch hasn't gotten any time to just be a college football quarterback. So I understand that he's the most lauded recruit that we've seen in a long time. And I understand the pressure that comes with his last name. I get all of that, but I just don't get why we suddenly presume that this year is going to be just gangbusters. He's going to win the Heisman. He's going to win a national championship. He's going to declare for the draft where he will be selected first overall by the New Orleans Saints. It just feels like the world has created this Disney movie that doesn't actually exist around Arch, and he's done nothing to actually propel these rumors.
I even heard a rumor that somebody very influential in our space said, and said it's fact. It's not even just a rumor. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's fact that Arch Manning was going to get drafted #1 overall to the Cleveland Browns, and Nick Saban would come out of retirement and be his coach in Cleveland. Like, like that sounds really great and all, but that sounds kind of like a crock of crap. And anybody that sees this or hears this shouldn't be surprised by this, because this is kind of how the Mannings operate. Peyton came back, Eli came back. It shouldn't surprise us that Arch, who has started, well, one game, maybe two games in his now 2-year college football career, would all of a sudden just get up and leave for the NFL. It doesn't surprise me at all. And look, Arch Manning has every resource and mentor at his disposal to make a decision like this. That the Mannings approach things with a very calculated way, and that they view more experience in college is going to be a better thing for Arch Manning. So this doesn't surprise me in the slightest, Fitz. I also don't buy when Archie says, well, I haven't talked to Arch. I'm sure you've talked to Arch about this. I'm sure this has probably been their plan ever since Quinn Ewers decided to come back for the 2024 season. This has probably been their plan all along. The Mannings are comfortable taking a slow burn approach versus let's hurry up and make a decision based off of Arch's draft stock.
Didn't they show us that when he didn't transfer? Like when Quinn came back and Arch wasn't getting on the field, everyone, oh, he's going to transfer. He's going to transfer. He said loudly, never even considered it. So I look at some of this and think, when are we going to stop talking for Arch based on what we want to have happen instead of actually watching the proof of concept of what he does, what his actions speak to? Like, look, there's a very real chance in my mind that Arch Manning struggles in this first game as a starter at Ohio State. And that's okay. He kind of should. Mm-hmm. Like, there is this one, like, he's allowed to be human. There's going to be a trajectory of growth for him. And I think we have to just start to allow that grace, Caroline, because like it just feels like everybody thinks we're playing a video game. He's going to come in. He's going to crush it. Isn't it a lot more realistic to think a first-time starter is going to grow into that job? And by the end of the year, God, he looks like one of the best quarterbacks, and think of what another year could do for his trajectory. Like, there's a much more logical way to approach this.
I do kind of feel for the kid. And look, he has all the money in the world. He's a starting quarterback at Texas. He's a good looking kid. Like, I know a lot of people are playing the world's tiniest violin for Arch Manning, but he's stepping into the world's largest shoes, into expectations to win a national championship and a Heisman Trophy right away. Those feel like unfair expectations.
1,000%. He also stepped into his career with a family situation that never put pressure on him to play quickly. He stepped into a career where he was making money right away at a level where he doesn't have to play quickly. All of the things that influence these decisions, when you look at the influence of decision, I think that we could afford to be a lot more patient with how we look at Arch and how we look at what we expect from Arch. And it would be better for absolutely everybody if we did.